Hello, everyone. I'm Walter Slaton, representing Colliers International with Pittsburgh Yards, for property management as well as leasing. Um, Hopefully, you receive the notification via the newsletter in reference to the team and how we are looking to support tenants as well as community members um, to the utmost in terms of quality and services that we've done always. So what I would definitely like for those that don't have my new contact information, what I would do is I'll put that information into the chat list so you are able to reach out to me directly if you have not already received my latest contact info. We always kind of talk about Pittsburgh Yards and kind of give a brief introduction of what we are looking to do in terms of providing office space, professional office space to small businesses and entrepreneurs. I think we've done a really good job in terms of providing a space as the tours today showed where we had multiple, multiple of the tour where potential tenants talked about essentially word of mouth and how they're just hearing about what we're providing here as a service that they can't find anywhere else in Atlanta, in terms of the services that we're providing from the support systems. And I'll talk a little bit more about that what we'll be providing in the near future in terms of some partnerships that we brought on in the last month or so here in the building, and also just the overall growth of the tenant base that we've seen over the last 2 to 3 months. We have had some transition in terms of the COVID response. We did receive some guidance. I know that most of you, and hopefully that you are being vaccinated. We do still have a policy as it relates to COVID where we are requiring mask upon entry into the buildings. We will be updating that policy once we have some further conversations around process and procedures. So we will be updating that. But in the meantime, we'll still be maintaining the same procedures that we have in terms of making sure that all of the community spaces and open areas are being cleaned and properly maintained via our cleaning services. And that is everything from the co-working spaces and the main portions of the NIA building, as well as the restrooms and the common areas and the break and the conference rooms as well. If anyone has any questions about that, any specific concerns around process and procedures, definitely reach out to me as well. In terms of the latest in the building, I did want to show you all some of the photos that we have taken recently that reflect some of the most recent projects, particularly around the roof space. If I can share my screen, and hopefully it will work as I'm trying to multitask here. I would love to show you all the recent photo that reflects the latest updates with the rooftop space. So the most recent, I guess I'm showing the wrong one here. Let's see if I can get the right one up. I apologize. Always technical difficulties when we're doing this. You want to see my screen now? Hopefully you can.
Not yet, Walter.
Still can't see it?
Well, I saw it briefly previously. There we go. Oh, I see scheduling made easy.
But still not the screen that I want y'all to see. Yeah, why is it not showing the right screen? So we'll come back to that. Technical difficulties here. But what I wanted to show you was a rooftop area. There's been some recent photos that were done. And with those recent photos, it basically shows the the new furniture that's been placed up top. There's also been some real cool updates in terms of the feature in its third screen. All right, there it is. I think that's it. Now you can see it. Can you all see it now? Hold on.
We still see your beautiful face.
Can you see it now?
Yes.
Okay. Excellent. Finally, got it. So hopefully you can see those photos where you can see some recent additions to the roof line, just more relaxing space. Also areas where you can meet both for our co-working members and tenants to engage and also have conversations. And also for those that are looking for outdoor space, you can also leverage that for events as well. And hopefully you can see all those photos. All right. Okay, good. Fine. We got that. I was having some problems there with that. So yeah, so in terms of the building, I mean, in terms of the building and the projects that have finished in terms of the use of the space, in terms of the main co-working space, right now you have the ability to enter the building and find multiple areas that you want to use for your co-working space. We've done a really good job of maintaining and separating the different zones, even with the level of social distancing that we've been applying from the layout aspect of the furniture. And anyone that has been to the building recently, particularly, I see a couple on the call of those that have seen and experienced where we have ample space for you to be able to maneuver around the building, as well as have, comfort in terms of those that do want to have the separate space within the building when you're in meeting with others. Any questions about any of the updates around the building, anything on the interior portion of the rooftop aspects of the building, or anything on the outside that you've seen or driven by recently and seen?
Well, Walter, I don't have any questions, but I love, you didn't show a picture of the backside, the patio where, the trail is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best place. The seating that's outside there.
Oh, okay. You mean where the picnic tables are and
Yes.
where the shipping containers will be?
Yes.
So I will have those next time if you want to see those be posted. The reason why I didn't post those is because it's a couple of more pieces of furniture that I think that the interior design team is working on. And when those are complete, I'll get a couple of photos of that and I'll post those as well. And we probably can be able to present those in the next meeting because I think they're either done or they're very close to being done, I think.
The whole space is wonderful. Especially the rooftop, when just before it gets dark and it's a little bit cool and the breeze is blowing and you just can sit up there and look out over the space. It's so peaceful. It's just awesome.
You sound like you've been up there quite a bit, Miss Mary.
I've been all over there quite a bit. I was checking everything out and walking around the building and seeing which doors work and which ones don't, and where I could go outside to walk when I'm frustrated. And it's
frustrated.
Yep, I pace when I'm frustrated. So I realized that it's such a good space when I need to move around.
Well, we don't want any frustrations being had while you're here at Pittsburgh Yards.
No, they usually lead to solutions. It's okay because it usually leads to solutions.
Okay, well that's good.
Yeah,
positive. As long as there's a positive response, that's always good. That's good. And so that's kind of a good segue in terms of just talking about the general aspect and that feeling where we are doing fairly well in the leasing front. So we are currently at about 54% leased. So we do have some vacancies that we are trying to close out. So we're about halfway there. So if there's anyone that you know that's still interested in any space in the near building, particularly in the west wing, the north wings and the south wing are filling up fairly fast. So the west wing is where we probably have the most opportunity. And for those who don't know, the west wing is more of our light industrial aspect of the building. We have some opportunities there. So definitely let those that you know that are interested in the near building to move as quickly as possible, because we do have a lot of interest. And as soon as we can get the leases that we have outstanding signed and get people into the building, that number will just be increasing more and more. And on the co-working side, co-working, we're almost at that 60 member number. We're at about 55 the last check that I had in terms of co-working members. And then we still have a couple of outstanding applications that just need to be processed. So our co-working membership is moving positive as well. So again, if you know folks that are looking for a co-working experience, just let them know what we're doing here. We are different in other spaces around town. We do offer 24/7 access to the building, and we do provide access to both the rooftop that you saw earlier, as well as the business center, a couple privacy rooms, and also they'll have access to a couple conference rooms that they can use as well while they're on the property site. Any questions about any of the recent move-ins or any recent tenants? If not, I'll talk about a couple of them that we had that have moved in recently. I wasn't able to get any of them scheduled on the call this week. As we know, we have a couple of entrepreneurs in the building, so they are quite busy, but I will get them on the call for next month so we can have them kind of present to themselves to the general body. But I'll just shout out a couple of them that are pretty notable that we got into the building in the last month or so. So we have Amber Lawson with Aspire Construction and Real Estate Consulting. She has a design build firm, so she'll be moving, or she is in the South Wing. She'll be basically providing construction and architectural services, and she's looking to actually work with folks in the building as well, in terms of any type of needs and build outs that you may have in terms of your individual space. We also have Ms. Danielle Cherry. She is in the North Wing. She is with Crimson Communications, which essentially is a marketing and PR communication firm. She just recently moved in as well. She will be looking to operate. She does a little bit of government contracting as well. So she also will be looking to partner with you all. Particularly, I was trying to get her connected with you, Miss Mary, because I know you kind of operate in that space as well. We also have Miss Trina Pippin, which recently moved in the North Wing as well. And she has a non-for-profit organization called Connected Gap Empowerment Group, and they work with women, formerly incarcerated men and women, actually, to be more precise. And she just recently moved in, and she's actually what I have liked seeing with her in particular in terms of the tenant that is just across the way from her. They've talked about different ways that they can partner with the similar type of uses that they have, and that's Fathers Incorporated. If you guys are familiar with them, they came in a couple months back as a non-profit organization that does a lot of work with young men and fathers as well. So it's been good to kind of see the two work together as they are adjacent to each other in the building. One of the main tenants that moved in the last couple of months as well is Jada Shea Herbal Tea. They are currently taking down the shop space in the West Wing. Really good to see them moving to the building and take that space. And I'm really waiting for them to be able to have some tea that I could be able to sample and also provide in the building.
With you, Walter.
They said that they were going to provide something so we can sample it throughout the day. So I'm kind of holding Alethea to that. She's not on the call, but I'm going to hold her to that. So they've been really good because one of the things I always tell them is that the West Wing smells so much better now when I walk through there just because of them moving into the building. So that's been good to see them there as well.
Are they serving any at all, or?
No, they won't be serving, but they will be producing and doing a bit of packaging in the building. So they'll be able to provide us with some type of samples of product. And hopefully, I wouldn't mind being kind of a test subject for any type of new experimental mixes that they make, right?
Well, when are we gonna have a mixer of the current residents and stuff?
Ooh, that's a very good question. And I do have a good transition point to where I have someone on the call that could probably very likely speak to that. And that's Miss Rachel Freeman. So she will be partnering with us, and she's with the Village Market, which is also a tenant in the building now. And their team has about 2 new tenants that recently moved into the building as well. But what Rachel will be doing is assisting with things just as that, Miss Mary, and she's already on the top of the game in terms of trying to get together and get the contact list so we can have some type of kind of tenant mixer or mix up or networking session in the next week or so.
Okay.
Rachel, did you kind of want to briefly speak to what your thoughts were around that event and how you wanted to engage and what you were looking to do with that?
Yeah, thanks, Walter. So, hi everyone. My name is Rachel. I'm the program specialist at our Village United, and I'm also partnering, like Walter said, as the with property management, just to do some programs and events to kind of engage businesses, not only just to get to know each other, but also see how we can build community within the space. So next week, we're looking to have a meet and greet, just something casual. I'll be sending out an email sometime early next week for just different dates that work well for you, and just some other information about what we do and what you guys would like to see from the community, from us. We want it to be integrated to where we're providing services, but also we're learning from each other in a way where we can create those connections and build community that way. I'm looking to do something, late next week. So just look out for an email from me. It should have a lot more information regarding what we're doing as far as like getting connections made for throughout the building and throughout for the entrepreneurs.
So Rachel, will you also be connecting us digitally? Will we be on a platform where we maybe can interact with each other?
Oh, thank you so much for that. That would be a great idea. Right now, we're looking into a management system to where we can just put out information kind of like from management to you all. But actually, I appreciate your suggestion on that, because there could be some type of intracommunal like communication space just for everyone to get to know each other, maybe like a Slack or a group meet type of situation. But building that platform is a great idea. So I will definitely incorporate that. And I should be in the building a lot more in the next coming week. So I'll be stopping by and just getting some feedback and just kind of creating relationships with everyone. But yeah, that's something that we're definitely working on. Anything to just kind of create that sense of community. So thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Gay. That was a very spontaneous transition of conversation. Led right into the next portion of the call. So great.
I'm reading your mind, Walter. I'm reading your mind.
I know. I think you are you here? Are you in the building behind us? Looking over my shoulder. I know what it was when I shared my screen. You saw. I think that's what.
I saw everything.
So. Second. With that, and talking about the communal aspect of the building and getting folks together, I think I saw Tron on the call. Tron, if you didn't mind, just kind of give us an update on where we are and what's been going on with the community markets, which have been going fairly well from what I've seen, and I've been getting a lot of people that have been reaching out to me in terms of How do they find out more information, and how can they be a part of the community market? So if you could give us kind of a brief update, that would be great.
Yes, sir. If you allow me to share my screen, I have a brief presentation prepared.
Sure will.
Okay. And this is like our fourth market. We've been doing a lot of what I call customer discovery, and I'll talk about it in my presentation. So yeah, we'll get right into it. It's a lot of exciting things going on with the market and things that have started. So am I able to share it now?
You should be able to.
Okay. Can you guys see my screen?
It's coming.
Okay, here we go.
Yep, we see it.
All righty. These are the market updates. Let's see. Get right into this presentation. Well, I'll try to play it. Okay, maybe we won't play. I just go through it. The application is open, and we plan to keep it open until the belt line is completely open. So we do have connectivity with our website again. It was some issues with the form, but we have the form and it updates automatically once someone sends in an application. So visit or tell people to visit www.pittsburghcommunity.org to apply. And we've been getting questions about like if you don't want to do it every week. Some people want to do it holidays, some people want to do it bi-weekly. We're very let's say flexible when it comes to that right now. So if it's not something you do want to do every week, that's okay. I just had a vendor that emailed us today saying that they were there for the last market and they want to work the next not the next market, but the July 4th market. So just in the email, just let us know. Well, fill out the application and then send an email letting us know if you want to be like a seasonal, weekly, bi-weekly, or exactly what you want to do with that. More exciting news. We're starting a garden club, which actually we were aiming for this Sunday, but we're going to try to do it like 2 Sundays from now. And what we want to promote is like people getting more connected with their foods. One of the tenants and one of our vendors for the market, Miss Haleen, she has a garden probably not even a block away from where 352 University is, where Pittsburgh Yards is. So our plan is during market hours, we want to have a cold tea tasting. And then after the market ends, we'll have an actual walk to the garden space so people can do tours of the garden. And Sundays, when we don't have our market, we'll actually be doing tea tastings and tea parties in the garden. So just spread the word on that. This is, she hasn't approved this flyer yet. I was working on it last night, but hopefully she likes it. She had some critiques on it and I moved some stuff around. I didn't see her on the call, but hopefully she likes this one. So like I said, in the garden club, we'll be talking about how to identify healthy seed, soil, and growing your foods from from seed to table. And one of the I guess not really problems, one of the opportunities I say we would have was finding food vendors. So one of the ideas we have is just cultivating our own through knowledge. So tell people about the garden club, tell people about the tea tastings, and we'll be working on generating traffic in those ways. I've also been hosting bi-weekly Zoom calls, and at first it kind of just started out as people having questions and not really having the answers. And so the beginning of this was actually just starting with quick links, just links to different government sites that you might need an LLC, business license, whatever. The questions we were getting, those what we were answering, and it's actually turning into what I'm calling, I kind of made the name up last night. I didn't have a name for it, but Make a University series. It's going to be a series of things to guide startups to a scalable, repeatable business plan. When you're a startup, you're not really a company yet. You're still kind of testing stuff out. You're finding your, what we call at Georgia State, early evangelists, people who will try your product and really don't know what it's like, but they're willing to try it. So we've been getting a lot of that at the market, a lot of people who are willing to try our products and services. So, and that's another thing. We don't want to just keep what we're doing to products. We also have had service businesses, and we've had around 15 to 20 vendors. It's been like a fluctuating number. It hasn't been like a consistent, like say 20 every week or 15 or whatever it is. But you know, like I said, we're being flexible. This is our first year, and we're catering to startups, but we also want to have those you know, more seasoned businesses also. So in our Maker University series, if you didn't catch the Zoom call last week, we talked about web van and the importance of the web van. It's a case study that we studied at Georgia State, and it really talks about speed and scale. So web van was started by Louis Borders. He also had the bookstore Borders, but web van was unique. It was during that the dot-com bubble burst. It was one of those companies that got swept into that, and it teaches you a lot about startups. So Webvan, they raised $800 million in capital, and before they actually launched their services, they had an $8 billion valuation. Now, they had automated services, like stuff that's kind of regular now, like delivering food to people's doors. But in 1997, what they didn't do was what we'll be talking about next week is customer discovery. So then they didn't see if they had the market for what was going on. In 1997, the internet was a different place. A lot of people didn't even have the internet. So they spent a lot of money, and in 2 years they went bankrupt. So that just goes to say speed and scale, and having a direction. Those are the things we're going to be talking about next week on the Zoom call, customer discovery, like I said. And I think this is lastly, we started a market calendar, and one of those things on the calendar will be the tea tastings. We also started canvassing the neighborhood yesterday and really getting out and just talking to people and learning. We're really just seeing if people know what's going on. And what we're discovering is a lot of people still don't know what's going on. They don't know what's in the building. They don't know what Pittsburgh Yards is. They just know it's something going on across the street. It's cars over there. And some people even said they tried to get in the building, but it's not open, and they felt maybe it's not for them. So we're getting out in the community and like really just telling people what's going on and telling them how they can plug into what's going on. So that's basically all I have. Oh, also, if you have any kind of, I guess, programming that you wanted to add to our calendar, I know we have Makisha's brother wanting to do pop-up fitness on the field at some point once we get that everything organized and okayed. And I think it was one other well, the garden club, that's going to be on there. But if anybody has any kind of, you know, programming that they want to add to what we have going on, and I'll make an updated version of this with like the things that we already have going on, and then I'll be able to send that out to anybody that's interested in being a part of it. So yeah, just spread the word. And if Makisha or anybody else has any questions or anything to add.
Tron.
Yes, ma'am.
This is Mary. So there's a nonprofit organization, Wholesome Wave Georgia. They provide double SNAP benefits for people who shop at markets,
Right.
farmers markets. You may want to reach out to them because it definitely could generate some traffic.
Right. We've been working with Georgia Wholesome Wave for about a year now, and it's really kind of one of those things where we submitted our application a couple of times and we got denied, and it's mainly because we don't have enough to be considered for like for the doubling the SNAP. You have to have a certain percentage of your vendors as farmers. Like that's part of the criteria. So you have to actually name your farmers on the application. We only have one farmer so far.
Well,
So that's been our kind of hold up with our application. But as we groom people and more people come to the site and want to be a part of what's going on, then I actually got in touch with Alex Duncan, and she's with Georgia Wholesome Way. We had an email conversation probably about 2 weeks ago, and our application is going to be kind of open, and our case is going to be open, so we get to reapply in, I believe it's November, before the next cycle goes on. So we won't have it now, but we're still in the process of doing it.
okay. Good.
Are there any other questions?
Hey, Tron, I'll just say, can you just speak to or just confirm the dates and times of the farmers market going forward? So
Yes,
those that
sir.
don't know.
The market, right now we're doing morning markets 10 to 2. And it is for once we have like more things going on, like the skating and the tea tastings, that'll take up that 2 to 4 block. And yes, Saturdays 10 to 2, and we're asking our vendors to be there from 9, like set up from 9 to 9:45. If you're running late, shoot us an email, let us know. It's kind of like we try to block the street off at what is that? At where?
Smith.
Well, you know the street.
Smith Street.
Is it Smith Street? No, it's Irish Street. Irish Street. Yeah, we usually try to block off Irish Street at a certain time to keep the traffic from flowing through and kind of disrupting things. But we're also just working on different layouts and seeing what works, because once you look at the lane and kind of survey it, we look at the traffic and kind of see how it flows and where you like the vantage points of traffic, where people can see us from, basically. So if you're coming from Metropolitan and driving past the market, past us on Smith Street, we're kind of in a dip, and you might not see us until like basically you passed us. We're kind of in a weird space, but that's why we're going to be working on getting signage and things of that nature to point people to the market and let them know, hey, fresh food, fresh fruits, coffee, things of that nature. Those are things we're working on to get more signage. And somebody even said that once we were canvassing, they were literally across the street, like listening to the music and having a good time. It was like, hey, like come over here. I didn't know that was something for us because it's no sign and we didn't see a flyer, we didn't see that. So that's why we're taking part of our mission is to really get out into the community.
And Tron, can you guys maybe do some pre-order forms when you confirm vendors? Because I just want some peaches, but my Saturdays are booked, so I can't show up. But I'd love to.
Right, and that's something we're going to be working on too once we get our next website built. Like the website we have now is strictly for the application, but once we get more vendors, we're going to build out a website that's catered. Like you haven't followed us on Instagram, we're doing like weekly drops of our vendors, and we want to get deeper into that so people know where their products are coming from, how people are using it, just a deeper dive into what the vendors are doing and who they're actually dealing with. So as we build out our website, I think I don't want to speak just randomly, but we'll be working on that portion of it.
Okay.
In the next month or so, we'll be working on getting like a web designer and getting our website built out.
Okay, thank you.
Are there any other questions? Or anything to add? Makisha, you have anything?
Yeah, you covered most of it. I just wanted to, I guess, bring up that we're really trying to groom, as you said, startups from the neighborhood, from across the street, from Southwest Atlanta. And that process does take time, just to help people see what their options are and see, what they're even capable of. And then, of course, a little bit of hand holding, a little bit of education, and a little bit of just showing them which way to go. So that process will take time. But yeah, we do definitely want a nice mix of seasoned vendors and then those who are just starting for the first time.
is there a, I guess you could put it in the chat, just the email contact for anyone that's interested in reaching out to you all?
Um, All right, it's
All right.
Pittsburgh Community Market at gmail.com.
Thank you. And then, is there not, that's not a contact number, it's just the email mainly?
Yeah, I mean, you can, I give my number out for anybody who wants to reach out.
You didn't have to, I wasn't sure if that was the main number.
Okay,
So
I'll be working
how
on getting a business contact too, so cause some people, like on my personal business side, I have people, like I do video work. People will call you at 2, 3 in the morning sometimes, and it gets kind of like, you gotta kind of, have a cutoff at some point.
Right. That is true.
go get that Google number.
Right, get the Google number.
Yep.
Right, that's a good point. Yeah, I'll work on that.
Ms. Gay, did you have a question? I saw your hand raised.
Oh, he answered it, I think, when he was speaking, and I wanted to ask about the pre-order, but I know I'm gonna just go to Queen. She'll get me some peaches when I won't have to come on Saturday.
And Brian, did you have a question? Your hand is raised as well.
Yes. So I stay across the Metropolitan Parkway and Capitol View neighborhood and stuff like that. So I'm part of the committee and stuff like that. So I know we wanted to do a tour at some point. That's a different subject. But I put in the chat about what other stuff soon would Pittsburgh Yards be launching. Like I know it's a lot of demand, especially for like training classes. Like if one of the startups come and hold classes, we got a lot of people with degrees and stuff that want to use their talents and help the community because of course technology is not going away. So like we do tutorials on how to use your iPhone or the Android phones, or how do you use Zoom, so that way we can encourage more participation and more input as we move along with this. See what I'm saying? Thank you.
Hey, Brian, can you share your contact information? Let me take you to lunch.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say we as a Pittsburgh Yards will be providing those opportunities with our partnerships, but we do have some of those individual tenants in the building that can assist with those services now that you can reach to in terms of our own ecosystem. So I know Ms. Gay is one of those that is in her kind of back pocket, which I think that's why she's reaching out to you. And there's some other tenants within the building I can connect you with if you have any specific questions or needs.
Yeah, like because for an example, I just spoke with 6th graders in Mexico 2 weeks ago. We talked about science, technology, engineering, and math. And myself having a degree in engineering technology, it was a very good, session. It was about an hour that graduated to the 7th grade. So I was wondering if we can like implement plans like this, to keep, something like the youth engaged, the elderly engaged. So I mean, they want to learn the information, but we need to like, I guess, bridge the gap so that way they can have access to these tools. So that was my question. I mean, my feedback.
Well, Brian, we're gonna bridge the gap. I'm gonna email you right after this meeting.
And it sounds like, Brian, did I hear you say that you will be willing to volunteer your services in terms of training for this subject matter? Because we are looking for those opportunities as well. I know you mentioned that you said that you would be looking to tour, so that's something that we could talk about if you would look to be a member or a co-working member or attending the Pittsburgh Yards, that we like to leverage the talent that we have in the building and offer those as opportunities for the training to happen from within as opposed to having to always go outside to get that training. So if that's something that you're willing to do, we can definitely talk about that offline.
Okay. Yeah, because like I said, like I said, they are interested. They just want to, learn how to do it. And, so yeah, of course.
Okay. I'm writing that down now. Okay. Ms. Mary, are you still, your hand's still up, or you just?
Oh,
you have another question?
I just didn't let it down. I have nothing else to say.
I was gonna say you can answer all the questions tonight.
Oh, I do have one more though.
I knew it. I knew it.
You just do. So is there a potential of, because I have some tenant type questions that it just seems like it's not appropriate for this environment, but will there be like an internal tenants meeting that we will have or something just like that we can discuss questions we have about the building and issues and all that good stuff?
Sure. I mean, you can send those to me directly. There's that email address that I put into the chat, and then there's another email address that I'll give you as well. It's like basically like PM. It's a property management generic email address. I can give you that. You can send any questions, concerns, what have you.
Yeah, I need to set up in the new system that we got, and I haven't done that yet, and I need to make sure I get that. I got a few questions, so I'll email you.
Oh yeah, we can definitely do that offline because that is a conversation that we can have, and I can walk you through that process. Okay. Well, that's another question. That's another good segue into property management. Is there anything from a property management perspective that anyone has any questions or concerns with, particularly if it's more specific? You can definitely shoot me an email and we can just set up some time either on site or we can do it virtually to kind of step you through setting up with the new ClickPay portal system. The building management system will be coming online shortly. It's a different tool. It will be called Building Engines, but it will have a Colliers kind of branding on it. So you'll get more information about that when that's ready for you all to start logging into and use as well. But all of those you'll be getting email updates from us when those are ready for you to access and use. And that'll be similar to how we had before. You'll be using that as kind of your internal communication channel with myself, property management, and the other tenants in the building.
Okay, I got one more question. So the door over on the front side, kind of like toward the street, that when you, like, I went out of it one night and I couldn't get back in it with my key.
Garibaldi?
Huh?
Which door side are you talking about?
Over where the NEKC offices are, that door in front of the elevator.
Yes.
Yeah. I went out it and couldn't get back in with my key, but it said it was working, but it wasn't working.
Yeah, so that door has a kind of a trick to it. The next time that you're on site, I'll show you it's kind of sticky, but essentially you just have to kind of push and pull it, and that door opens up.
Oh, so it's a code, huh?
Yeah. And then you have to kick it 3 times, spin around, snap your fingers, click your heels. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, okay, got it. Well, I got good exercise.
Yeah, you should be able to enter and exit out of that access door.
Yeah, I got good exercise because I had to walk around, so it was good. And that's it. I'm letting my hand down if I haven't already. I don't think I did.
Yeah, I think you are officially down. And I think I just put the pause on yours so you can't do it anymore. No, I'm just kidding. But but if that's all that I have for you all tonight. If there are any other questions or concerns, or anything that you all wish to talk about offline, I put my contact info, my updated contact info into the chat. I think most of you. Yes, did I hear
Could I
somebody?
speak a little bit about the
Oh.
committee for the event?
Sure, go ahead, Natalie.
Is that okay? Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
So for a while ago, there was a community committee that had started planning for an opening event at Pittsburgh Yards, and we paused that due to COVID. And we would like to get that committee restarted. And we would like to aim for, of course, hoping that our COVID trajectory stays positive here, but we're planning for Saturday, September 18th. So we've started the event permit process. It's a 90-day event permit process, and it would be held in conjunction with the Pittsburgh Community Market, which we heard such wonderful things about earlier. It's growing and flourishing. So this would be kind of a special combined day of the Pittsburgh Community Market combining with an opening celebration where we would have the committee that had been planning previously, was really interested in tours of the building where there would be docents to sort of explain the artwork, and we would have children's activities and some entertainment, stay outside on the green space, and lots of other things. But we'd like to reactivate that planning process for the content of the event. And so we're going to start with a virtual call tomorrow like this, and hopefully eventually be able to move into in-person meetings. But the call tomorrow is at 3:30. So I'll put my contact information in the chat. And if any of you are interested in helping out, if you can't make tomorrow, that's fine. Just let me know if you're interested in getting involved. And I'll, of course, be, or somebody from the committee will be coming back to report to this group. So you can always join in later if you don't feel ready to join in now. But the other thing I wanted to mention is that we wanted to do the community celebration first. There's also an important piece we have to do, which is thanking the people who invested in the project and who supported the project over the years. So that sort of more formal kind of thank you event with elected officials and such will be on a weekday, and it will be inside. So we're aiming at Friday, October 15th for that event. So I'll also just try to keep you all updated about that as that moves forward.
So Natalie,
And also,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Mention one more thing, Mary, and then I'll open it up for questions. The last thing is that there will be a contract for a local event planning consultant to kind of support the committee and its process and do some of the work of identifying vendors and the things that we'll have to rent and things like that. So there is a scope of work for that consultant role. So if anybody's interested in that or knows someone, preferably an NPU-V who's an event planner who might be interested, you can also email me about that and I'll send the scope of work to you. So that's all. Sorry, Mary.
Okay, that's all. Well, I just wanted, when you guys are planning these events, especially the community event, if you could plan some sort of transportation source from surrounding areas that people can come, because transportation is a kind of large barrier to people not participating in some stuff.
Yeah, I think we'd have to think about like what are the nonprofits in the area that might have buses or vans, because it takes you have to have insurance for that and stuff. So I think we'd have to look around and see that. But that is definitely something the committee can talk about, figuring out if there are some who can help. But that's a good point. Yes, transportation is an issue.
Yeah, and Walter, am I allowed to try to join this committee?
So that's a question for Natalie, because Natalie, I'll read another question that was asked. The question was around who can participate. So
anyone.
Strictly to the Pittsburgh neighborhood or any outside?
No. Anyone. And tenants, anyone can participate in the planning committee. Yeah, absolutely.
Thank
Just
you.
looking for volunteers with good ideas. And of course, we want to center what the surrounding neighborhoods want to see happen. But, you know, I don't live in the neighborhood. So I feel like I can support what neighborhood residents want and put my time and effort behind that. So I certainly think others can do that too.
Will you guys be sending out an invitation for it? Just-
I sent an invitation to the people who had previously been participating, and then, you know, whoever email me that they're interested, we'll add them. But I would like to figure out with the sort of core group that exists now, when they want to meet,
Okay.
how often and where. And then once we get that established, I can make it sort of more official that there's this committee and they're meeting at, you know, at such and such a time on a regular basis. Right now, I don't feel like I don't want to decide that for them. So the first meeting is just tomorrow at 3:30, an initial call to kind of begin thinking about things and reintroduce ourselves to each other. And then we'll get going from there.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Walter.
No
Well,
problem.
a suggestion, I'm sorry. Well, a
Go ahead.
suggestion about shuttles, like we just planned an event for our property in our neighborhood that's about to be it's our first community land project. It's our first CLT project in the neighborhood of 31310, which is tomorrow at 918 Deal Avenue. So we had a planning committee for that set up. So it was good. It was about 5 weeks worth of sessions. And we was able to get shuttle buses, you know, and stuff like that. So, I mean, I could share some information once we get the final transcript after the event tomorrow and share. But
That would be really
yeah.
helpful, Brian. I appreciate that. And I just got an email about that event today. So congratulations. You know, I saw that, and unfortunately I scheduled this call at the same time because I would love to be over there for it. So yeah,
It's
it's
from
really
3 p.m.
exciting.
to 7 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, but it's going to be more that we were saying as the process evolves. I think like the next stage is the construction phase. So
Right.
yeah, I think that's what's next after, you know, the groundbreaking. So
And what neighborhood is that again, Brian, for those that don't know?
well, it's in Capitol View. It's called the Guild Ground Cover, and then the project is at 918 Deal Avenue. What the overall project scope is going to be 18 apartments, which is consist of 1, 2 bedrooms, and then the lower level is going to be office rental space and F&B kitchens, food and beverage options. So it's going to be a multi-purpose community. It's a community land trust. That's what I mean by the CLT. So this is like the you know, I guess the second one in the United States. Well, it's a few of them already. So that's emerging. So and stuff. So just a little bit of background of the event.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Do we have any other announcements just for the good of the group? Let's see another hand raised. All right, if not, I will call it a meeting. Definitely appreciate you guys. Sorry for my background noise. Appreciate you guys attending the meeting tonight. If you have any questions, as always, definitely reach out to me via email or via my mobile number. Thanks again for spending some time with us on our latest virtual meeting update, and look to see you all next month in July. Have a good evening.
Thank you, Walter.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.